workbook question number 13. This is a bit of practical type of question, you can say, okay, but we will try to solve it in easy manner. It is given that there is a bulb in a staircase, one switch we have at the ground floor, other one at the first floor. This you might have noticed in your real life situation, that you are going through a staircase and you have a switch at the ground floor also, at the first floor also. Both the switch can control your bulb. Both the switch can control your bulb means you can make the switch, you can make the bulb on or you can make the bulb off with any of the switch. For example, if I am at the ground floor, then also I can control the bulb, I can make it on or I can make it off. If I am at the first floor, then also I can make the bulb on or I can make the bulb off. That is what it is written here. Bulb can be turned on or it can be turned off by any switch. A bit you have to assume that you are in a practical situation, you are in a staircase, you are in the first floor, you can make this bulb off or on. If you are in the ground floor, then also you can make the bulb on or off. A bit of this assumption is required. So what logic is being implemented in this particular case, or the logic which is being implemented in this particular case resembles which gate? Resembles operation of which gate and or XOR NET. See, just before this question, what we have discussed will be used in this state. Now consider this switch is in ground floor and this switch is in first floor, and this is your staircase bulb. Now if you again read the question, this will become simple for you. See, the bulb is on or it is off. Does it depend on only one switch? See, the answer was why is S1 XOR with S2? The bulb will glow. Does it depend on only one switch? No. It depends on state of both the switch. If both the switch are in opposite state, then your bulb will glow. And if both the switch are in same state, bulb will not glow. Similar condition. Exactly similar condition. To control the bulb, you need two switches. One switch at the ground floor, second switch at the first floor. Now you will be able to realize how the electrician makes this happen. Electrician makes this happen with the help of two-way switch. This concept your electrician uses, and you are able to control a single bulb, you are able to control your staircase bulb from the first floor also, from the switch of the first floor also, and from the switch of ground floor also. So two switch can control a single bulb. Two switch can control a single bulb. This is what happens, or this logic is being used by your electrician that makes this happen. In basic gates and universal gates, we have studied that the switches are not dependent on each other. The switches are not dependent on each other. But here their relative positions are important. Here their relative positions are important. For example, what was happening in an AND gate? For example, what was happening in the AND gate? If one switch is off, bulb cannot glow, does not depend on the second switch. If one switch is off, bulb will not glow, does not depend on the second switch. In any of the basic gate or any of the universal gate, two switches were not associated with each other in this way. Two switches will only be associated if we use two-way switches. We are using two-way switches for special gates only. Before that, we were using simple switches. Simple switch have only two terminals. This special switch, this special two-way switch has three terminals. So, this concept, please see, this concept I can implement here also. This is your staircase bulb. This is your staircase bulb, and this is your switch at the ground floor, and this is your switch at the first floor. Here also, both the switches at the first floor and the ground floor can control your staircase bulb. And remember that any one switch, it is not dependent on only one switch, it is XNOR of both the switch. If you will make both the switches in same state, then only bulb will glow in XNOR condition. What will happen in XOR? If you will make both the switches in opposite state, if you will make both the switches in opposite state, then it will glow. Relative position is important in special gates. So now please see. Answer of this question can be XOR gate or XNOR gate. Both can be the answer of this question. So option it is given XOR gate. In option it is given XOR gate. If instead of XOR it was given as XNOR, then XNOR would have been correct. Both the answers are correct. But one point I want to discuss here. See, this situation can be implemented using XOR logic also and using XNOR logic also. But what your electrician always do, just try to think. In practical case, what actually your electrician do, he uses XOR or he uses XNOR. Just keep thinking, I am just continuing the solution, what actually your electrician does. So till that time, keep thinking your electrician uses XOR logic or he uses XNOR logic. So we are talking about ground floor and the first floor, and we are talking about the staircase bulb. Now the two-way switch looks exactly like normal switch to us. To us, it simply looks like normal switch. We can put it off or we can put it on. But we have discussed in detail, actually it is not on and off. It depends on relative position of two switches. Okay? But when we look at the switch, it exactly looks like a normal switch. But inside what is happening? Inside the logic is checking state of both the switches. Inside logic is checking state of both the switches. So two switches are there. Two switches means four conditions are possible. Two switches means four conditions are possible. These are the four conditions. Either you can make both the switch off, either you can make one of them on, or you can make both of them on. These are the four possible states. Now, the logic we have discussed can be implemented by both XOR and XNOR. But what you actually expect from your electrician, what you actually expect in real-time situation, that if both the switches are off, your bulb should also be off. If you have not put any of the switch on, means both the switch are in off state, your bulb should not glow. Your bulb should not glow. Now consider a situation, you are going from first floor to ground floor and you have made your first floor switch on. Consider a situation, you are going from first floor to consider a situation, you are going from first floor to ground floor and you have made this switch in the on position, bulb will turn on. Similarly from this state, see, initially both the switches are off, bulb is off, you are going from ground floor to first floor, you are going from ground floor to first floor, you have turned the ground floor switch on, then also bulb should be turned on. That is what we have discussed in XOR gate. If both the switches are in opposite state, then only your bulb will turn on. If both the switches are in opposite state, then only the bulb will be turn on. And whenever they are in the same state, bulb will be turned off. And again, if you turn both the switch on, if you turn both the ground floor and first floor switch on, then also bulb will turn off. If there is a possibility anywhere near around your means wherever you are staying, if there is a possibility, so you should please, you may go and check what I have said. So the electrician uses XOR logic. Why he does not use XNOR is simply because in XNOR, if it was XNOR, if both the switch are in same state, your bulb will turn on. You cannot expect your bulb to turn on when both your switches are off. You cannot expect bulb to turn on when your both switches are off. This will happen if your electrician uses XNOR logic, which we don't expect in real life situation. So this situation, whatever we have discussed, is possible with both XOR and XNOR, but it is expected to use XOR gate. Okay. So see how we can make XOR to XNOR or XNOR to XOR changes. See, if your electrician wants to implement XNOR logic, how will he implement? He will connect terminal B of one switch to terminal B of the other switch, or he will connect terminal C of the one switch to terminal C of the other switch. Same types of terminal if he will connect. If he will connect same types of terminals together, it will be XNOR logic. And if he connects opposite type of terminal together, if he connect opposite types of terminal together, it is implemented using XOR logic, and this is actually being implemented at all the places in real-time situation. Workbook question number 14. Two input waveform X and Y are given. Both have same time period. Y is delayed version of X by time tau. So input waveform Y is this tau time delayed version of waveform X. Now both X and Y are passed through a logic which is XNOR logic. You can see from the table. A table is given to you which is based on XNOR logic. So the basic meaning of question is, you have to pass waveform X and you have to pass waveform Y to an XNOR gate, and then whatever output you are getting at the output of XNOR gate, you have to find the average value of that output waveform. So first step, we will find the output of XNOR gate. In this last step, we will find its average value, whose waveform is given to you in the form of a question. See, XNOR logic, this is logic 1, this is logic 0, this will become 0. Unequal inputs will not be detected in XNOR gate. From tau to T by 2, both are high, so output will be detected. Output will be detected. Equal inputs, output will be detected. Unequal inputs, output will not be detected. Again, unequal inputs will not be detected. Equal inputs will be detected, and this will continue. This will be continued. Now I have to find the average value of this waveform. So first of all, this is my output of XNOR gate. From tau to t by 2, it is at logic high. From tau plus t by 2 to t, it is again at logic high. And these two intervals, it is at logic low. Now, it is definitely a periodic waveform. It is definitely a periodic waveform. So, I can find average value from 0 to t by 2 also. Or if you want, you can find from 0 to t also. See, average value of a periodic waveform will not change. That is why it is called as average value. Either you find for 1 cycle, either you find for 2 cycle, either you find for 10 cycles, average value will not change. That is why it is called as average of the complete cycle. So, I will try to find the average from 0 to t by 2. How to find average is very simple. Integrate one time period and divide by the time period. Or I should say integrate one cycle and divide by the time period. My range of consideration is 0 to t by 2. So time period of this periodic waveform is t by 2 only. For this waveform, time period is t by 2. It is not t. For this waveform, time period is t. For this waveform, time period is t. But for this waveform, time period is t by 2. So I want to find the average during the interval 0 to t by 2 by using the simple formula integration of one cycle divided by time period. Please see. Average value is equal to integration over one cycle divided by time period. Integration over one cycle means 0 to t by 2. Output waveform V. Divided by the time period means time period of the output waveform is t by 2. Time period of the output waveform is t by 2. Now the output waveform, see, you have to integrate this waveform. So 0 to tau waveform is 0. It means you have to integrate only from tau to t by 2. You have to integrate only from tau to t by 2. Please see. So 0 to tau, it will become 0. Tau to t by 2, it will become logic 1. It will become logic 1. Or you can say, you can also write VCC as well. Either you write VCC or you write logic 1, both are same. Divided by the time period t by 2. So this will become, see, this is 0, okay. So this will become t by 2 minus tau VCC divided by t by 2. You can write this is 1 minus 2 by t times tau VCC. Or you can write logic 1 also. See, all the options, if you will see, they have axis of tau. All the options, if you will observe, they have an axis of tau. What is the coefficient of tau here? Coefficient of tau is minus 2 by t into VCC. What is the coefficient of tau? It is representing slope. See, y is equal to mx plus c. Straight line equation. What is the coefficient of x represent? Is your slope. Here your axis is tau. This thing you have to observe in all the four options. In all the four options, what is the axis for you? Axis is tau. So if axis is x, what is the coefficient of x? It represents slope. So this is representing the slope. And clearly you can say slope should be negative. Slope should be negative. So only one option is correct, which is having a negative slope. There is only one option which is having a negative slope. That is the only correct answer. So from the average value, see, this is the average value. From the average value, this is the average value. From the average value, we can notice if we draw waveform of the average value with respect to tau, the slope will be negative. If we draw, see, this is V average. If we draw the waveform of average value with respect to slope, with respect to tau, its slope is negative. So waveform with respect to tau with a negative slope is the correct answer, and there is only one option with a negative slope. And if you want to draw the if you want to draw the exact graph from the equation we have got, please see here. V average is equal to VCC minus 2 by T times VCC tau. Comparing with y is equal to mx plus c. This is your intercept. What is c? C is the intercept on the y-axis. This is the intercept on the y-axis. And this is your slope. Intercept on the y-axis, please see, this is the intercept on the y-axis, this is the intercept on the y-axis, VCC. Slope is 2 by T times VCC. This is your slope. Slope should be equal to dy upon dx. 2 by T VCC. What is change in y? Change in y is fixed, VCC, because it is the intercept on the y-axis. So dy is equal to VCC, so dx will become T by 2. dy is VCC, so dx will become T by 2. So this should be T by 2. In this question, VCC is considered to be 5 volt. Same. Either you consider 5 volt or you consider VCC. Okay. So this is the exact graph also we can make, but in the exam you should just try to save your time. The only graph with a negative slope, there was only one graph, just mark the answer and then move ahead. So these type of time saving things you have to apply in your GATE exam.